This is Overtime, a weekly moment of off-the-cuff commentary on everything from sports and politics to observations about everyday life from NFL All-Pro Carl Lee. Welcome to Overtime.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Lee, and I'm with Mike Arbogast again. He wants to touch on the transfer. Now, everybody knows that I have beaten the transfer situation up and how I feel about it, but now I got an opportunity to hear it from somebody who is what I would call experienced in the school system and understands how it should work and whether or not this actually works. Because at the end of the day, Mike, one of my concerns with the transfer is, as long as they have the front end of it where you can go wherever you want, leaving middle school, going to high school.
That's the way the rule used to be.
Yes. Well, now, if you don't have kids, if you're not winning, you're not going to have kids wanting to come to your place. So that's on the coming in side. And then you've got kids, your upperclassmen, leaving, your talented upperclassmen leaving on that end. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to be able to ever build a team as long as you can't get the best players in your middle schools because they don't want to come to no losing program, and you can't keep the talented players because they're tired of losing? Mm-hmm. How is that going to work?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to back up. Okay. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to back up here a second. I had a House Delegate member call me and put me on speakerphone with several other delegates when this came up last year. And I'll use his name. I don't think he mind. Walter Hall. Guy I grew up playing ball with, doing a great job in the legislature as far as I'm concerned. And I pay attention to what goes on up there. But I did spend 10 years on the SSAC board of directors, 3 years as president of that board. And we want what's right for kids and what's best for kids. All right, so you could already transfer between the 8th and 9th grade year if I want my son Carl to go to this program at Herbert Hoover High School, okay? So you can go. Free, penalty free. Mm-hmm. All right, and then if you get up there and you go, man, this really informed me. I made a mistake. Okay, we're going to give you a one-time transfer back, but you have to go back to your home school.
Right. Makes sense. I'm with that.
That was what the rule was in place. Moreover, if you were at a school and you did not transfer between the 8th and 9th grade and you have had a true hardship, and hardships come in wide varieties, and it'd take me all day to sit there and tell you all of them we heard, you had the right to go to the board of directors at the SSAC and tell them what happened to you. Tell your story. And they had the right to override the Secondary Schools Activities Commission executive director's decision to say you're not eligible. So you could be overridden and be granted eligibility at your new school through the board. And then even if the board said, no, we're going to back the executive director's decision on this, you could go to another board, the Board of Appeals, that only had one educator on it. They were made up of lawyers and doctors. And so there was avenues in place to help these kids, and I get it. I know there were hardships that happened, but I'm telling you that board was pretty liberal in granting waivers through the years I was on there. People think in their mind, David Price is sitting up there making up rules, or Bernie Dolan or Gary Ray, whoever it was. No, he's not. These rules, the Constitution and bylaws, are a living document. Every principal in the state of West Virginia has the right to invoke a rule. And you go up to the Board of Control with every middle school and high school principal in the state of West Virginia, and you say, this is what I think needs to be changed in our Constitution and bylaws. I'm either striking this rule or writing a new rule. After that, if it passes by popular vote to the principals, then it goes to the State Board of Education, where it goes out for a 90-day comment, and then the State Board of Education votes on it before it becomes a rule. So it's not like one guy sat down and said, hey, we're going to let you do this and this and this. Right. So my answer to the legislature were, stay out of it. We have procedure in place to make this happen. Let me say one more thing. I'm sorry. I probably may have got off track. But no. People focused on, and now people are really focusing on, these all-star teams that are being built in the Valley, all right?
Right.
We talk about equity for everyone. Those senators, I heard them talk about, freedom of choice, freedom of equity. You know this law really discriminates against? The kids that live in Webster County, West Virginia, Calhoun County, West Virginia, Tucker County, West Virginia. You know, we're in Charleston. We have the luxury of having 8 high schools within a 10, 15-minute ride from us. Where are those kids going to transfer?
Right.
Where is the equity in that? That's who it hurts. Or those little old rural schools, they don't get the opportunity to go somewhere else and play. Knew the all-star team thing was going to happen. Parents aren't done. And we talked about that in your last segment about the midget league thing. Parents are going to do what's best for their own kid. See, and I get that.
Okay, this is a real simple process to me. Okay, I understand. Okay, so let's say you as a parent says to me, I have a right to want my kid to go wherever he wants or she wants to go. That makes sense on its face.
Yes.
With the exception of there's already a rule in place.
Yes, there was.
See, and it's like
that was not done by the legislature, but done by building level administrators. That's my point to this whole thing.
And so it's like you want to join a sporting team.
Yes.
And then what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to do whatever it is. If my kid doesn't play,
yes,
or if my kid's good and the team's not good, then I want to have the right to be able to go to a team that I can go to that could potentially win a championship. This is what I don't understand. Like, so when your boss tells you, I need you to wear that top, those bottoms, those shoes, that hat, and I need you to be here at 7:45 every day. And let's just say this is a summer job for a kid. And the parent says, well, I don't know why he really needs to wear those shoes. I mean, I should have the right that maybe he should come in at 9:00. Why can't he come at 10? When you are part of something, you go to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Yes.
You follow those rules. You don't get to come in and say, well, yeah, but my kid really doesn't like to be outside. Don't come. Don't join. What I can't get people to see, and the parent who says, my kid, I have a right to do what I want. Yes, you do.
You already had that right.
Yes.
That's my point.
You can do.
You want to take them somewhere else? That's okay. Take them and go.
To your point, in the 8th grade to 9th grade,
yes,
that you can do that.
And then you go and you say, oh, this didn't work out. I'm going to go back home. You can't do that no more. Now you get one transfer. But anytime you want.
But I see it like we're not understanding that you signed up for something. You joined something.
Yes, commitment.
Yeah. So
overcoming adversity.
When you come
just like
into
real
something,
life situations.
Yes. When you come into something,
yes, you
are committed to the rules and the bylaws that are there. Absolutely. You don't get to say, "Oh, my kid, we need to take him somewhere else."
You do now.
And it makes no sense. And see, I don't get that though. And for the parent who thinks that they have that right, and again, well, let me finish that. You don't have that right. The rules are already in place when you get into sports. There are rules that the league has, the team has, the school has, everything. You get in your car and you've got the fastest car in the world. The speed limit is 35. You don't get to show that your car can go 135. Because what? There's a rule there.
Yes.
You can't break that rule.
Yes.
Why are we trying to redo the rules for the benefit of our own individual self?
Well, my point to that whole thing is that you already have a governing body and building level administrators and a State Department of Education that are governing the athletic rules. Why is the legislature, with all the stuff we have to worry about, why are they even getting involved in it? That's what I can't wrap my mind around that. I will tell you that those guys that I talked to when he called were very receptive. They asked good questions. They were trying to understand. They actually did understand the process that was already in place, and that kids can obtain a hardship waiver, or you can go between the 8th and 9th grade, or you can go back home if you go test the water somewhere else and it doesn't work out. So why get involved? Why? And I will tell you that our governor did not sign that bill. Do you know that?
I do know that.
And
I do know that.
Sat there until it went into law, because if he would have said, "No, I'm vetoing that," it would have went back and they would have overrode the veto. So may have prolonged it for a little while, but not a good rule. I'm not a fan of it. I will tell you this: I've seen the cycles, and it does come in cycles, and I don't know why. I have no rationale for it. I can't explain it. But when I was the athletic director at South Charleston High School, when I was still coaching, at the end of my coaching career for coaching basketball, that was a transition of time. Coach Chevalier had left and gone to West Virginia State with Coach Casto and started coaching, and we brought in Vernon Rebin, and we had kids that transferred, and we got drilled. And I'm talking about 80-0. 79-7, kind of like some of the scores we're seeing in the Valley now. But it turned back around. I mean, Vernon, by the time he left, Coach Redmond, he had a winning record, and we went to the playoffs for the first time we'd been there in like 5 or 6 years. And then we hired John Messenger. And John told me in the interview, he's like, if you're looking for an XO guy, I'm not it. But I'm going to have the best off-season conditioning program. We're going to hit the weight room hard. We're going to have dignity. We're going to carry ourselves with positive character, all things. When he said, I'll find X and O's guys. And, of course, he brought in Donnie Mays, the offensive coordinator, Jared Farrar's defensive coordinator. I had Mike Savagian on the staff, and I'm sure I'm going to leave somebody off. I shouldn't throw names out. But all of a sudden,
things changed.
Good group of athletes came in. We started winning, and then we won back-to-back state championships and could have won a third. And I still think that third-year team, and that's another subject for another day, was the best team I ever saw at South Charleston High School. That was a squad. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and like I said, we have beat it up, and I don't think that it's still. I don't think the transfer situation ever is going to not be worth having a conversation about it. I just think it's until we fix it.
Be revisited.
I hope.
I think, according from the people I've talked to in the House of Delegates, at least, are interested in revisiting. I don't know if everybody's there, but they saw what happened, Coach.
Yeah,
they saw these.
I hope so. I do.
It's really. Hopefully, they get it correct.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time, and this is Carl Lee, and we are out.
The opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of WVRC Media, its management, employees, or sponsors. Contact Carl Lee on email, letstalkcarllee@gmail.com, or text 409-422-7539.